These people get more entertaining by the day. Let's talk about it. What's up, y'all? It's your girl P Hope. Welcome to another review of Love After Lockup. This is season 3, episode 16. Okay, let's just get right into it. Y'all were off the hook in my reviews last week, and I appreciate each and every last one of y'all. So I had to make sure I did it a little bit earlier. I'm actually recording this on Saturday, which is Halloween day, and I'm not going to release it until Sunday because I know a lot of my P-Hope family is out there trying to make sure that their kids have a decent Halloween, whether you are doing maybe like a social distancing theme, or if you just said, you know what, JC got my bag, or whoever you pray to got your bag, and you just gonna go out and trick-or-treat like normal. But either way it goes, you know, my family, we chose to do more of the social distancing type of trick-or-treating. I'm not allowing my children to trick-or-treat this year, but I'm just gonna put some candy out in the driveway and you can play at your own risk. Okay, how about that? But anyway, I wish all of y'all a happy Halloween, and we're gonna get into this video. Y'all know I started off last week with Heather and Dylan's ass, and I really want to start off again with them this week, but I'm gonna save her for, you know, I'm gonna put her in slot number 2. I'm gonna start this week with Tyrese and Shonda. So you remember last week they had Shonda in that damn confessional, and she called Tyrese, and Tyrese, you know, pretty much said, the hell with you, honey. I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to be your lover. You know what I'm saying? You got down on me. You did what you did. Good day. You know, good fucking day. And he let her go on about her business. But then it shows him walking in this damn restaurant, and he said, I'm here to meet a young lady. And so the hostess is like, oh, okay, well, you know, I think the young lady that you're looking for is right over here. So he walks over, and of course, you know, they got it set up to make us think that when he sits down at the table, he done met up with Shonda, because he gonna talk about something. Yeah, it was nice to talk to Shonda or whatever, and she's a really nice girl. But then when they pan the camera over to show who he's at the table with, it's an older white lady with some long dark hair. And so I'm like, okay. So he sits down and he's telling her, like, you have some really beautiful eyes. And she said, thank you. You're really gorgeous. Thank you. So are you. And I mean, this is what I was talking about last week. I told y'all that Tyrese has a bit of awkwardness to him. I don't know if Tyrese was sheltered at some point, or is, you know, his elevator doesn't go all the way up. I don't really know what's going on with Tyrese, but what I do know is he is awkward when it comes to the dating scene. That's what I do know. And I also know that Tyrese has a type, because y'all know that Shonda was a younger Caucasian female. Well, now we meet Miss Stacy in this restaurant, and Miss Stacy is a older Caucasian female. So, and don't get me wrong, I'm all about the jungle fever. I am just the type that you love who you love. If you're a man, then you love a man. If you're a woman, then you love a woman. If you black and Chinese, if you white and Korean, whatever, you know, I don't really care. Love is love in my book. But we know that Tyrese has a type, and his type is the Caucasian female. So he's, you know, he's giving her all this goo and gaga about, you know, how attractive she is. And then he's like, you know, how are you enjoying the chicken? And, you know, she's like, the chicken is good. He was like, yeah, I could tell you over there tearing it up. And then he was like, you know, I'm going to be tearing something else up by the end of the night. And she grinned. She's like, really? You know, what you going to be tearing up? And he was like, you'll find out. And then he gonna talk about some tight and just right. And I said, like, because first of all, did nothing look right about her. Now, I don't know what that lady Cooch got going on, so I'm not coming for her Cooch. But, you know, it just, that's no flick that I want to see. I don't want to see it. I'm going to turn it. I want to see Tyrese and this lady. And then he going to talk about some. So he said he met Miss Stacy in an art gallery, and, you know, she just really caught his attention. So he went over to her and he spit his game. Now, I will say that Tyrese did not walk up in this restaurant with that motherfucking blue suit on. He didn't. So I don't know if he had it on at the art gallery. But whatever the case may be, Stacy went for it, and Stacy, you know, is pursuing Tyrese as well as Tyrese is pursuing Stacy. And so Stacy's like, so have you heard from Shonda? And he took a sip of his water and he was like, no, I haven't heard from her, and I don't have any intentions on talking to her. He was like, you know, you my baby. And she was like, well, you know, she's going to be calling. She's going to want more money. She's going to want, you know, she's not done with you. She's going to want more things out of you. So I just hope you know that's coming. And then when they put Stacy in the confessionals, but even though she was in the confessionals with Tyrese, she says, yeah, well, I would know a little bit about how that works, and I can sympathize with Shonda even though I don't know her personally, because I'm a ex-inmate myself. She was like, I did a little prison time myself. And here goes Tyrese ass talking about some, don't say that. Now every time somebody see me, that all they gonna say is, that's that man who only date women that's been locked up, who does women that's only been incarcerated. Okay, well, yeah, that's all you showing us. And then he had the nerve to say, yeah, you know, Stacy, she's a nice lady. And one thing about it, she got a big old ass too. That was the same thing that got him wrapped up with Shonda, was that she was a white girl with a big old ass. And now they didn't show us what Stacy was working with, but he swear to God that she is a white lady with a big old ass. So, you know, listen, Tyrese, whatever floats your damn boat. But all I'm gonna say is, I did not see no kind of sparkle in Stacy's eyes. So if she take your ass, if she take you and your bank account for a ride, then it is what it is. And I wouldn't be surprised, because she's done already told you that she has done a stint. She already know, I'm sure she's a fan of the show, because, you know, for her to say what Shonda gonna be doing this and that and the third, and I don't know her personally, but I know she gonna come back and say whatever. Like, you've watched the show, and you know that Tyrese is a sucker for this shit. So, you know, it's not going to surprise me, even though they met in an art gallery. Hell, she was in there looking to catch. And and I'm sure she has caught just the sucker that she's looking for. I don't know what kind of money Tyrese makes. I don't know if he has the kind of money that's even worth trying to gold dig. But I feel like Stacy's going to take a stab at it. So all we can do is hope for the best, because Shonda done already put your ass over one time. So don't let it happen again. And I told y'all, I wanted to start out with this crazy fool, but you know what I'm saying, I gave her a little bit of a break. But now it's time for me to get on that ass. Heather and Dylan. Here we are again with crazy ass Heather and Dylan. Y'all, what is wrong with her? I really just want to, like Heather, I really for real just want to meet you out in the middle of the street, and you gonna have to shoot me my one, bruh. Like, you gonna have to get these hands just because you crazy for no reason, and you won't just tell us. If you have some type of illness to where it needs to be medicated, if you're hearing voices, if you're doing anything of the such, if you just tell us that, we can sympathize and empathize with that. But this mess that you pulling on this show, like, I have heard people say a million times, that's not really my character. They just edited me to look that way. And I do believe that a lot of the times. But Heather, in your particular situation, it ain't that much damn editing in the world, ma'am. Get it right, sis. Y'all, listen. They are still at Aunt Diane's house. They're up. They're getting dressed. They show Heather ass in the shower. I'm sure Dylan ass been up, and Ben already had his clothes on. He probably got up with Jesus and they put their clothes on together that morning, because you know Dylan is so used to being on that prison time, and prisoners get up at the crack of dawn. Prisoners get up extremely early. So I'm sure he had been up, been ready, because he needed to be at the DMV, because one of the requirements of him being out and being a free man is that he needs an ID. So he needed to go to the DMV because he wanted to retake his driver's test. So she's in the shower, and you know, she's just kind of talking to the camera in this lackadaisical kind of voice, talking about, yep, I'm just over here shaving one leg at a time, you know. That's how life is. It's just kind of one leg at a time. And so, you know, we all looking like, okay. And so then she proceeds to go ahead and get dressed. She's out the shower, and it shows her fiddling with her hair, then fiddling with her makeup. And she's digging through a makeup bag and this and that and the third. And I understand you're not in the comfort of your own home, so a lot of stuff is just compact and packed up, and you know, I get that. But anyway, they get on and they get going. So right before they get in the car to head to the DMV, Heather does a confessional, and she was like, look, you know, Dylan has only been out for one day, and so it was really, really difficult for me and Dylan to try to have sex last night, but we did without Aunt Diane hearing it. And so she was like, I'm not going to say that, you know, Dylan doesn't know what he's doing in the bed. I'm just going to say he was very uncomfortable with the situation. So who knows what the hell Dylan had going on in the bed? I mean, after she cut up the way she did you really want to give her some ping, Dylan? Like, you could tell me the truth. You could tell me, because I'm on your side. And then when it's Dylan's turn to do his confessional, he was like, yes, me and Heather definitely had sex last night. And if you can equivalent good sex to crazy, then I guess me and Heather had some good sex. And so her thing is, she said that Dylan seemed very far removed from the whole act itself. And Dylan said that, you know, he felt like she was on some crazy shit. So ain't no telling what was going on behind them doors, y'all. She was probably saying a seance over him while she was riding the ping. She was probably growling. She might have started crying. She was probably trying to bite the man. Ain't no telling what was going on in that bedroom. And then she doing all of this and trying not to be heard. So I'm pretty sure that it was some real weird-ish going on behind that door. So again, I'm on Dylan's side. I don't blame Dylan, because this chick is crazy. So anyway, he's looking, she's like, okay, babe, put it in your GPS, da-da-da-da-da. He puts it in, and the first thing he says is, well, it's closing soon. And she was like, oh, okay, well, you know, that's fine. We'll be on our way, whatever. But she did let him know that they stopped testing a couple of hours before they actually close, so that they can get out of there on time, which makes sense. And so if the GPS already told you they was closing soon, then, you know, don't get your hopes up. And so as they're riding, Dylan makes a comment, and he said, man, if these people are closed when we get up here, or if they're not accepting any more people, I'm going to be mad. And she gave him this slow ass look. And he was like, oh, no. Like, I'm not going to be mad at you, babe. I'm going to be mad at them, because, you know, they need to have it open until the time that they say. And you could tell that he made that comment strictly off the strength of, I don't want to start no shit with this bitch. So, I mean, even though, yes, I am saying I'm going to be mad at you, but let me just blame it on these damn DMV people for right now, because I don't have time for this shit. So that was the first little time that he played it off. So then they get to the DMV, and what we all thought was going to happen happened. They got up to the door and the officer turned them around. We're not accepting any more driver's tests or applications today. You'll have to come back on another day. So he was like, damn. So then they do a little small confessional outside under the tree, and they're asking, you know, Dylan, how does he feel about not being able to get his ID today? And he was like, yeah, you know, like, it's just unfortunate. And so Heather come chiming in, talking about, yeah, you know, he just wasn't able to get it today. And Dylan was like, yeah, because of makeup. She gave him that slow ass look again, and she said, because of makeup. And he was like, babe, I'm just playing. It's a joke. Like, Heather literally turns this psychotic look on and off. She can be smiling and grinning 1 minute, and then you could say the slightest thing, and it's like you can see the exorcist come out of her with this slow ass, evil, sinister ass look in her face, like, nigga, I can't believe you just fixed your lips to say what you just said. But all he said was because of makeup, which was probably 100% true, because it showed her taking her time getting dressed, shaving her legs, putting on makeup. Like, honey, you could have took the makeup bag with you, and while Dylan was waiting in line, you could have still continued to sit in your car and put as much makeup on as you wanted to. But no, you wanted to be all prim and pris and proper before you walked out of Aunt Diane's house. So that was on you, baby girl. Again, I'm with Dylan. So yeah, he made the comment about, yeah, because of makeup, and she was like, you know what? Go ahead and do your little interview here. I'm gonna go to the car. And he's like, no, babe, don't act like that. Don't do this. She's like, no, I need a minute. Like, at that point, she had snapped. I'm like, okay, is she about to go to the car and take a little something up her nose? Is she gonna pop some pills? Like, what's about to happen? And it didn't show her doing any of that, but the amount of rage that was inside of her was just unreal, y'all. She was like, go ahead, do your little interview. I'm just over this. I'm over this. You're just, I don't know. And then she was like, this is not the Dylan that I was communicating with while he was locked up. This Dylan that I'm dealing with is extremely judgy. And I'm just saying to myself, like, okay, well, we definitely didn't sleep with y'all last night. But so far, I don't understand what's so judgy about what Dylan is doing. Dylan seems to be a very level-headed, calm young man. And I feel like that's for a couple of reasons. Because I feel like if the cameras were not around, he would get with your ass a little bit more than he does. That's number one. And number two, he's fresh out. So if he as so much as pinches you and puts a bruise on your body, he's going right back to square one. So he has a lot riding on not going off on your ass. So for you to feel like he's so judgy, that is putting him in a very, very difficult place. And I feel bad for Dylan. I feel very bad for Dylan. Because you've been dealing with this person behind bars for 5 years, thinking they're just so sweet and so loving, and this is your ride or die, and this is your future wife, and you know, you have all these butterflies and rainbows in your head about this person, and then as soon as you touch free ground, you don't know who she is. And that's a very unfortunate situation, but it's the truth. What else happened? Let's see. Yeah, she called him judgy. And so then she's like, look, I'm over it. Get in the car. Get your mother ass in the car. Let's go. So he gets in the car. He's still talking to the producers. He's like, look, I gotta go. She's not gonna sit here and talk like, you know, she's upset. I gotta go. So he gets in the car, and as soon as he gets his ass in the seat good enough, she starts flying off like damn Cruella de Vil. And he was like, I just don't understand why you're making things so difficult. She popped the car. She hit them brakes again. And she said, oh, I'm making things difficult? Difficult, am I? I got difficult for you. That crazy hoe started ripping off the microphone, the wires out the back. She started knocking the GoPro off the damn the car top. I said, what is going on here? Y'all, Heather, y'all better do something. Y'all better go help Dylan. Somebody go around there and get Dylan. So their little whole story thing ends with Heather ripping all the shit off. She flies down the street like a bat out of hell. The production was able to catch up with her and sees her make a right turn on a one-way street. So she's going the opposite of traffic. And so now Dylan at this point is yelling for his life. He's like, yo, you cannot be driving like this down a one-way street and you're going the wrong way. You're going to kill us. She doesn't give a damn. She's seeing red at this point. She feels like everything and everybody is against her. And, you know, it's just a fucked up day for Dylan. Okay? And so then it shows Dylan in the confessionals. And he's just letting us know that, look, I have obviously been talking to somebody for 5 years that I don't know. And I don't know what to do about it. I'm in a very, very jacked up situation. And at this time, it's not really nothing I can do about it. So, Dylan, I'm just going to continue to pray for you because I do feel like, you know, I don't know what you do as far as your criminal life, but I feel like, you know, outside of your criminal life, you are a decent man and you don't deserve to be going through what you're going through. So, I'm rooting for you, buddy. Sean and Destiny, y'all. They are, you know, you remember she showed up 3 minutes before time to be in the courtroom last week. So, she finally takes her ass on in and they start the proceedings. When she comes out, she lets us know that just like her public defender told her that everything would be canceled. But what she did not find out is it's only temporarily canceled. They are going to pick the case back up. And they are going to try her on her 2 escape charges. So she will be facing up to a maximum of 7 years in prison. And so at this point, she's devastated. The mom is devastated. The sister is devastated. And of course, Sean is just torn in 1,000 pieces. But he's probably the one that's trying to hold it together the most at this moment. So Sean they're all standing outside of the courthouse, and Sean is just pretty much saying like, look, I know that it sounds bad, but hopefully you'll be able to just come out of this with no scratches and you won't have to do any of that time. You know, they're talking about 7 years, but you know, when they bring you back, you probably won't have to do no time. And Destiny is just like, look, Sean, this is not time to be feeding me no damn fairy tales. The people said what they said. I already know that the odds are against me and I'm going back to prison. I'm going to do that time. And so Destiny's whole thing is she doesn't understand why she has been out doing so much good this whole time when she's only going to end up going right back. And so the mom is trying to explain to her that, yeah, this is the cycle that you've always been stuck in. And this is the cycle that you need to break. You need to, you know, let them go ahead and give you whatever time they're going to give you and let that be that. Because now that you're out and you have Sean and you know what kind of life is out here for you to live, you ought to be looking forward to that. But Destiny really don't want to hear that at this point. You know, she's like, I should have just been out. I should have just been on my same crazy shit. And I don't understand, you know, why the odds are so stacked against me. But she gets it. She says she's made her bed, and she's just gonna have to lay in it, and it is what it is. And she told Sean that she does not expect him to hold her down for no 7 years. You know, pretty much saying, if the shoe was on the other foot, I wouldn't do it for you, so I don't expect you to do it for me. Like, you know, that's only fair. And he was like, well, I don't know why you think I will go anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I don't care how long they give you. I love you. I'm in love with you, and I'm not going anywhere. So they all had a little tearful moment because Destiny had broke down just real briefly. And so that was their little emotional moment outside of the courthouse. And it was sad, because even though Destiny has been out here in these streets raising hell with Sean, I do feel bad that she's going to have to go back and do more time. So Destiny, I am hoping that you get nowhere near those 7 years. You know, hopefully you get just a couple of months, and then you can just come on back out and continue to raise hell with Sean, honey. Sean and Destiny, when they left the courthouse, he wanted to take her to this river walk, and she was like, look, I'm really not in the mood for this shit. Like, that's not even where my mind is, but if that's what you want to do, fine. So they go to the river walk, and he's just pretty much reiterating what he already said at the courthouse. And he's telling her, like, you know, I promise you, I'm not going nowhere. You're my world. I'm in love with you. Like, I can't imagine not being able to touch you. I can't imagine not being able to smell your perfume. Like, you know, you're everything to me. And the long story short of it, he got on that one knee and he pulled this ring out that he had shopped for previously. And, you know, she had this grin on her face, but she was still had this look like, are you serious? Like, after the day I just had, you gonna top that off with asking me to marry you? I don't know. And so that's the cliffhanger that they left us on for next week, is to see if she says yes or no to this proposal. But yes, she is supposed to be meeting Miss Kelly next week. So we'll see if they end up boxing each other head off like I predicted earlier in the season or not. Maurice and Jessica. It starts the scene with Maurice and Jessica riding down the street. Maurice got his head hanging out the window like a damn 5-year-old that just got off punishment, talking about, yeah, I'm here, mother lovers. Like, you know, he is crazy. I actually like Maurice though. I like his energy. He's a little bit extra at times, but you know, he's a cool cat. So anyway, it shows them riding down the street, and they are actually cruising around, and they go to meet up with, I think she's like an event planner. So they go and they look at this event space for them to actually have a real wedding, because y'all know Jessica and Maurice are already married, but they got married in the prison system. And let Maurice tell it, getting married in prison is pure trash. You know, they whip out a piece of paper and they say, all right, now you niggas are married. All right. You sign your name on the dotted line, and there you go. One is the husband and one is the wife. And so he wants to be able to give Jessica a real traditional wedding to where both of their families can come. They can all meet each other and jail with each other and be one big happy family. And so they get in there and they're looking at all of these different venues, and they look at, so I think she had 3 different rooms for them to choose from. So they step in the first room, and it was called the Lock by something. And he was like, what you say it was? And she said, well, this room is called the Lock something something something. And he was like, oh no, because Maurice had already told the event planner that, you know, he had been incarcerated and that's how they met or whatever. So he was like, oh no, this room got the word lock in it, so I ain't too much comfortable with that. So, you know, they all got a little kiki off of that, and they moved to the second room. They got to the second room and Maurice was like, yes, you know, I could feel this a little better. I could see my mama on this side of the room talking about, yeah, that's my baby. I'm so proud of you and this and that and the third. Then he walked over to the other side of the room talking about his aunt was going to be back there hollering, talking about, woo, look at my baby. Yes, I am so happy for him. And I said, Lord have mercy, if this man family does end up coming to Las Vegas and they get up there acting like that, I would love to see every last Caucasian face in Jessica's family, because, you know, they don't seem to be very judgy to me. They don't seem to be as judgy as they could be. Okay. But to see both of the families all in one room together, I would love to see it. I would love to damn see it. So anyway, then they move on to the third room, which is set up more of like it's an indoor, but it's set up to make you feel like you're outdoors. And they can set the lighting for it to be nighttime or for it to be sunlight. And so I thought that was really pretty. And that's the room that they decided on. So they're just standing in there admiring the room. The event planner done, you know, gave them some time to just really enjoy the space, take it in and see if that's what they really want to do. And so as they're there, you know, it was just such a romantic moment that Maurice decided that he wanted to just express his love to Jessica. And he's just telling her, y'all, he went on and on and on to the break of dawn about how much he appreciated her. And I get it, but I'm a little uncomfortable with it, because you appreciate this girl because she put her life on hold. You appreciate her for how she's looked out for you. You appreciate her for all of the things that she's done to cater to you. I did not hear a whole bunch in that speech about how much I love you, how much I adore you. I didn't hear a whole bunch of that in his vows and in his little, you know, profession of love to her. And it kind of bothered me a little bit, but I gave him a hood pass. I'm going to give Maurice a hood pass on that. So he just, like I said, he went on and on and on about how appreciative he was of Jessica. And then he got on his one knee and he whipped out the ring. And she was just so tickled that he actually had her a real wedding ring. And of course she said, yes, I will marry you. And you know, and he got a small tear from her. So it was a cute moment. I wanted his vows and his truth to her to be a little bit better than that. So Maurice, if you are watching this, or if you get a whiff of this video, please don't do no whole bunch of talking about how much I appreciate you, how much you looked out, because that's what anybody can do. Your homeboys can look out for you. Your sisters, your brothers, your mama, your daughter, your baby mama can look out for you, and you can be appreciative to those people. Hell, I can look out for you. You can be appreciative of me, but that doesn't mean that you love me and that you're in love with me. So on wedding day, when you get up there to say your vows, you better talk about how much you love that girl. Because if not, I'm going to be side-eyeing you, honey. So that was pretty much it for Jessica and Maurice. Jessica said she wanted to know where the hell and how the hell he got some money for a ring. She prays to God that it wasn't anything illegal, but she is over the moon about the ring, and she is excited to marry Maurice. Chevelle and Quaylin. Quaylin is still at Chevelle's house, and he's packing to get ready to go to Texas. So she's standing in the doorway like, so you really just finna leave? And he was like, yeah, I'm about to go. And so she's just like, I just can't believe this. Like, all of that mess that you talked while you was locked up about how you hear from me and Maila, and you just gonna get up and leave us. And he was like, I'm not leaving y'all. Just like I made a promise to you, I also made a promise to my mother and my sisters and the rest of my family that are there in Texas. So just like I'm spending time with you, I have to go spend some time with them too. And she's like, yeah, but you got a one-way ticket and you don't know when you're coming back. So that makes me feel like everything that everybody's been saying to me is true. Is that you're just using me and you're not coming back. And he was like, look, I don't know how to make you believe anything other than what I'm telling you. But what I'm saying is, my taxi is outside and I'm finna go. And so she's looking crazy. She's upset. You know, it's probably one of those situations where she cried after he rode off or whatever. But he gets in the taxi and he leaves. So he makes it up to Texas and he's riding in the car with his mom. And she's like, you know, I got a couple options for you. And he was like, okay. And so she ain't explaining these options to him. And so at one point, she's like, well, we're gonna go up here and see my friend. They pull up to the barbershop. I'm thinking she about to treat him to a lineup or something like that, because his dreads was looking a little distressed. And that wasn't the case. So when they pulled up to the barbershop, she was like, okay, well, this is one of those options and opportunities that I was telling you about. So this is my friend, whatever his name was, and he's the owner of this barbershop, and I want you to talk to him about a job opportunity. And he was like, what? And she was like, yeah, you know, because you're so good at what you do, I feel like you need to talk to him, because like I told you, it's plenty of opportunities and options right here in Texas to where you ain't got to go back. So he felt very ambushed, and you know, that shit came from left field, but he played along with it because that's his mom, and you know, he don't want to start no static with his mom. So he ends up talking to the barber, and he's telling the barber like, look, you know, I got skills. I did 7 years in prison. I had to keep up with my own hair the whole time. I didn't let anybody do my hair. It took me hours and hours on end to lock my, you know, to relock my dreads and to line myself up. And I was doing other people's hair while I was in there. And he was like, you know, it's some really, really talented barbers that are incarcerated. And so the owner of the salon, of the barbershop, was like, yeah, I know. And he didn't say that he had ever been locked up, but he was just like, look, when I look at you and when I'm talking to you, I don't see an inmate. I give everybody a clean slate. So if you decide that this is something that you want to do, you know, the door is open for you to come and see what, you know, for me to see what you got. And so, you know, Quaylen was like, I appreciate that, whatever. But the thing is, I got a whole nother situation back in Kansas City. That's where my girl is. That's where I'm trying to be. And my mom, he was like, I'm going to keep it a stack with you. My mom just kind of ambushed me to come up here and talk to you. I didn't even know none of this was about to go on. But I do appreciate the opportunity. So they dapped each other up. He escorts them out. He gave Mama Quavo a hug. And they went on about their business. Quaylen done jumped onto her when they got in the car talking about, man, you know, I can't even believe you did all that, whatever. And she was like, yeah, and I'm going to keep doing it. And so they rode on off. They get home and his baby sister is home. And so, you know, they hugging it up and they're excited, extremely excited to see each other. He said he has not seen his baby sister in 8 years. And so she's like, well, you know, what do you want to do? She was like, I know all the best hangouts. And she was like, I got some really cute friends that would love to meet you. And he was like, oh, no. I'm going to tell you, just like I told Mama, I am dedicated to Chevelle. Like, that's my love. That's my heart. That's where I'm trying to be at. I'm just trying to come up here, kick it with my family, have fun, and, you know, then gone back about my business. And she was like, I'm just saying, like, keep your options open. And then here go Mama Quavo messy ass talking about, yeah, keep your options open. And then she was like, look, I have absolutely nothing against Chevelle. I think she's a decent woman, but I don't necessarily know if that's the woman for my son. And I get where they coming from, because y'all know I've been on Chevelle ass the whole season. Like, girl, I feel like you're very naive in a lot of situations. And now that it's coming to him wanting to spend time with his family, you can't suffocate him and you can't hold him hostage. Like, this man has been gone for 7 years. So regardless of what he said to you when he was locked up, you can't expect him to just completely forget about the person that birthed him. You can't expect him to just delete people that he grew up with and siblings that he helped raise, just because you guys are supposed to be so happy and healthy and in love. That's not how that works. So I definitely understood Mama Quavo when she said, you know, it's nothing wrong with Chevelle. I'm just not sure if she's the one for my son. So maybe next week we'll see if Quaylen ass is gonna go out dipping and doing, and we'll see if he gonna get in trouble, or is he gonna stay dedicated to Chevelle. We'll see. Y'all, and last but not least, we have John and Christiana. Y'all remember that Christiana did not make it back to the halfway house, which caused her to be kicked out, and she's essentially like on the run. And so she ended up calling John at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and he went and picked her up out the middle of the street in Dubuque. Okay, so he found her, and now they are back home. And as soon as she jumps out the truck, she's just like, I just want to breathe. I just want to breathe. So as soon as she got in the house, she did not hug her sister. She didn't hug her mama. She went straight to the bathroom and took a shower. She showered down. Then she called her sister to come in the bathroom. And as soon as her sister opened the bathroom door, they just had a bawling session. They were just hugging each other and crying and hugging each other and crying. And then she came out, and the same thing happened with Christiana and her mom. And it was just a really sad situation, because you could tell that Christiana really feels bad for relapsing. And it's just like she doesn't even know why she relapsed, and why she just cannot seem to get it right when she gets to this halfway house. And that particular segment of the show made me have more of an understanding of why inmates have such a hard time, and they get stuck in this cycle of going back to jail, of becoming a repeat offender. I understood it a little more with Christiana's situation, because you surround her around the same thing, but you're expecting a different results. And so yeah, I understand how the prison system is a little jacked up in that instance. And then John ended up, oh, excuse me, y'all, my butt hurting. And then John ended up clarifying what I said last week. I asked y'all, if he bring that girl back to his house, is that considered harboring a fugitive? And he said, you know, yes, it is. That's what that is. And because he has a criminal record of his own, if Christiana is found in that house, then 9 times out of 10, he's going to be incarcerated as well. So at this point, they're just trying to figure out when Christiana is going to turn herself in, because John said they need to get ahead of the warrant, because if they have to do any kicking in of the doors and removing Christiana from anybody's residence, then that's when it gets super ugly, uglier than it already is. So they're just trying to get a game plan together as to when she's going to turn herself in. But as of, you know, her having that little small conversation with her sister and her mom, now all she wants to do is go to bed. So she got in the bed, he tucked her in bed, and John went out. It looks like he might have been on his back porch, and he was just highly upset. And, you know, he picked up something and flung it across the yard, and he was just like, I just can't believe that this has happened, and she's going to end up having to go right back into the prison. And, you know, so at this point, his heart is just really broken in a million pieces, because he knows that she won't be coming home anytime soon. You know, it's no way for me to see her. It's no way for me to touch her. We're going right back to square one with just talking on the phone. And now, not only is that the case, but I have your mom and your sister in this home with me, and I don't have you. So it's just a real jacked up situation. But you know, y'all know I have always liked Christiana. So you know, praying for you, girl, hoping for the best for you, Christiana. But anyway, y'all, that was season 3, episode 16 of Love After Lockup. Y'all, we have 2 more episodes of this season, and then I think they said we're going back to crazy ass them with what's their damn name, with Andrea and Lamar and all them crazy ass folks. So we shall see what WeTV has coming up for us, because I am enjoying it. And not to cross match channels, but if any of you guys watch Put a Ring on It, or if you have watched season 1 and 2 of Ready to Love, drop down in the comment section and let me know that as well. I don't think I would worry about trying to review Put a Ring on It, but y'all, Ready to Love is my show. So if you guys are interested in me reviewing Ready to Love, then definitely give your girl a holler, because I do read all my comments and I reply. So yeah, that's it. But y'all already know what I'm about to say. I want you to be happy, be healthy, be safe. This is your girl P Hope, and I will catch you in the next video.